Greetings.
Greetings from the Wrestleverse. I'm your host, Lexi.
And it's Billy here.
And it's time to take it to the ring. Alrighty, guys. We've got a lot to talk about today, huh?
Yeah, pretty good episode.
Yeah, pretty good episode. So today we're going to be doing a Wrestlecap of AEW Rampage, which was the episode from last night, in case you guys missed it.
Yeah, so this week, man, they really didn't waste any time. Right off the bat, this week's Rampage opens with Quen and Darby Allin already in the ring, ready to begin. No walkouts, nothing like that. Just bam, get in there, let's go. So they start off pretty strong. You know, Quen gets in a real nice hammer lock, but he's quick to counter. That's one of his strong points, is being able to reverse and counter and kind of use that momentum and send Quen just flying out of the ring.
Absolutely. I mean, it was real. That beginning part was very intense when they first started, and like as Sting was like setting up to hit. I'm sorry. Yeah, as Allin was setting up to hit Quen out of like the ring, Cassidy ends up like interfering, and I think that like Sting, because he was outside of the ring, could have like definitely interfered at that point. I mean, he does later, but I feel like in the very beginning he could have like at least said something, because it's like, you know.
Well, his presence is almost ominous enough. You know,
Yeah.
it should have stopped shenanigans, right? But,
Yeah.
you know, Quen, he brings Allin back into the ring and then just lifts him up and lays him out onto the top rope. And that's not enough. You know, Quen just repeatedly starts to kick him over and over, sending some great combinations, punching him in the gut, just really trying to gain control back and get that momentum.
Yeah, and then we see Quen, and he's got Allin in this position for like quite some time. Kind of like this like torso looking stretch. That's like the best way I can yes, that's like the best way to explain it. And but Allin ends up countering it with this hip toss and leaving both guys on the floor after. They're like kind of just laying there a little dead afterwards.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Did you see Quen trying to reach back for the ropes multiple times? I don't know what he was trying to do, how he's going to get more leverage on an abdominal stretch. Yeah. And then it was great seeing the ref come by after like the third or fourth time, tell him to stop, and he just kicks him right in the elbow, like, get it off of there, boy. It was awesome. I loved it. But what about that backflip into a DDT from Quen? That was some cool stuff.
Yeah, that was really cool.
After that, you know, Darby is just kind of struggling to keep it going at this point. He still has some hurt ribs from Revolution on Sunday. So it's tough when you have a broken rib, even a sprained rib or a bruised rib. Anything touching it or trying to breathe it's just so much more difficult to try to move around and keep your pace. And it's exhausting like this. Your blood, your body, your muscles needs that oxygenated blood.
Of course. We got a comment already from Keith. He said, I watched the women's match on Rampage. That was an amazing clothesline. We'll talk about that in a bit. We're getting into that, I promise.
Yeah. That was a pretty good one too.
It was really good. So Quen's got Allin like raised up over his shoulders, and like just as I thought Allin was gonna get squashed again, Allin counters it and lands in like the scorpion death drop.
Yeah, it was a little throwback to his mentor Sting. Cool to see that, man. Like I said, counters are his specialty. But you know, as Allin he's getting ready to hit the top rope, Cassidy interferes again. He's going to hit the coffin drop, but this time he's able to stop, throw him into the barricade. Sting comes in, I think, and he's like, no more of this. And then Quen, he steps up for that big 450 splash from the top rope. And it's like, that was impressive. I think he kind of landed a bit weird, though.
He did land a bit weird. I was like, ooh, that looks uncomfortable. But yeah, in the end of it all, Allin ends up, you know, getting the submission. He ends up countering this like shooting star press into an arm bar. I believe that's how you call it. An arm bar. It's like the best way I could get a picture of it.
It's the Michigami R bar. So instead of him having his feet over top of his chest, he has it pulling backwards away from it. And then you see like his hand right there. See how he's bending his wrist back too? So it's even extra torque. So he's bending it backwards rather than pulling back this way. He's bridging out. It's tough. That's a tough move to get out of.
That does look tough, especially if you have like a rib injury. I can imagine that that's like very painful.
Yeah, think about it. He's ripping that back with sore ribs. That's a lot of leverage. So
it is.
Cool match.
And we have Andrade, who ends up coming out with his crew, and you know, they tried to come out for an attack, but they didn't even make it like in close enough to the ring. Like they were just going all like down the front like entrance, and no other than the Hardy Boys, they end up coming. We see Matt and Jeff Hardy coming down, and you know, the boys, the group scurries off after.
Yeah, it's only like maybe the world's best tag team, you know, coming down the ramp. So definitely it's cool to see him in the matching outfits again, and seeing Matt and Jeff out like that, and full Hardy Boys get up. It's neat.
Yeah.
So it was wise for Butcher and Blade and the rest, and Andrade and his goons to just go running. But you know, right after this match, we got to see Scorpio Sky backstage. And they're getting ready for the Sky versus Warlow match. So you see Lambert, fat face here, you know, he's just talking all kinds of ass the whole time. And he says like this story, like a throwback from '68 of some guy that snuck into somebody's backyard and gave him a chance and stabbed him in the back. I'm sure there's a lot of history behind that story. I have never heard of it. I'm going to have to talk to Lady J and Tommy Mac because it sounded like a big deal. So he's been around forever. It was just before my time. But they're trying to say that Scorpio Sky is going to keep that winning streak and Warlow's going to it's going to be done after this. And I don't see that happening. I think Warlow's going to get that belt and he's going to hold on to it for a while, and he deserves it.
Yeah. We're definitely going to have to wait and see, because, I mean, he's got two things on the line. He's got his TNT title and his winning streak that he could lose both of if he ends up losing to Wardlow. So that'll be definitely interesting, and we're going to stay tuned for that one next week.
Power Bomb Symphony. I'm ready for it. Yes. Kill him.
And so next up, we see Jamie Hayter and versus Mercedes Martinez. Now, they didn't have an entrance either. They start off in the middle of the ring, and they've had a few run-ins that we've seen over the past few weeks. Hayter and Martinez have yet to have, Hayter and Martinez met for a singles match, while Britt Baker and Rebel were kind of like outside of the ring, just kind of, you know, watching, except for Britt Baker. She was not watching. She was doing everything but watching. Everything she wasn't supposed to do.
She's a terrible cheerleader.
She's a terrible cheerleader. And I mean, I personally think their best bet would have been having Thunder Rosa at the outside of the ring. But you know,
I've noticed Thunder Rosa doesn't play cornerman very often. She's kind of solo. She doesn't mind coming in and saving somebody or helping out, but she's not a cheerleader. You don't see that very often. So
no, you don't.
But I mean, this match was very physical right from the bell. As soon as the bell rang, and they were hitting pretty stiff strikes, slamming each other around, really not worrying about if it looked pretty or if it was smooth or not, just kind of going in there and beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
It was a pretty tough fight. You know, I like Hayter. She's tough, and Martinez is legit.
Yeah, they both put up a really good fight. Like, Martinez gives Hayter a couple good shots to the face, and she has her in the corner, and Hayter is just eating elbow after elbow. And then we cut to the break where a lot of the action actually happened. You could see Hayter was mainly dominating this portion of the break, I feel like. But like I said, it's always so hard to try to get like the perfect angle and the perfect picture when we're doing breaks, especially for this episode. I feel like it was very like the breaks were really, how would you say? They
were on a time restraint for sure.
Yeah.
Like Tony was running them. They're like, no, we got to go. Let's go, guys. So they were just getting right to it. There was no prep. There was, hey, nope, commercial. We do it because we have to. This is how we make money, but the fight's not stopping. Like they don't care what's going on in the fight. It's like, nope, commercial break, go now.
Yeah.
But we come back from the break and you see Martinez, and she's really starting to regain her advantage. And with like it's a butterfly suplex, just right into the double underhook. And that's a really tough suplex because when you land, you're hitting really upper neck and kind of your head. So because it's so low, it's kind of sneaks up on you. All of a sudden, you're getting slammed.
Yeah, it definitely looked painful. There was a lot. This whole match was very fierce. That's like the best way I could explain it. Both of these girls put in a lot of energy, and Martinez gives Hayter a German suplex from the strangest position. Like I couldn't even get a good let me try to explain it best. So she's on the top rope. They both are, but Hayter's like inwards, and Martinez is kind of outwards. They're both sitting down, legs over the top rope. And Martinez just kind of like grabs her German suplex kind of backwards in a way. And it all happened so fast. At first, everybody's like, what is she doing up there? Like it looked like they were just sitting like one behind another. And but of course,
even Excalibur, he was trying to throw out a couple. He wasn't sure what was going on.
Yeah.
I think he threw out Spider German suplex, or he was about to call another move like Spider something, because she did end up hanging upside down. And the what do they call that, like the hang of woes or something like that. I think Lady J called it that, because you're upside down, you're pretty much stuck. It's tough to leap up from that position. But right after, go ahead.
So but of course,
you're in it.
Baker, freaking Britt Baker, she ends up helping like Hayter cheat behind the ref's back, and it was she throws in a couple punches at Martinez like from the very side.
Like 3 good pops.
And she's just got a smile on her face, just being Britt Baker.
Now, she did it sneaky. Britt Baker is a sneaky woman. But she popped. It's like when Martinez, she came up from hanging upside down, which is difficult enough as it is. So you come up with that momentum, and she just came in right into that big punch, and Britt laid her out, man. So right after that, Hayter saw this. Well, she didn't see it happen, but she comes in with just this big clothesline shoulder tackle, turns Martinez inside out, and gets that big win. Match was over, 3 count. That laid her out, man. That was a big one.
Yeah.
So there it is. Just laid her out off the ropes, and Martinez was taking more of the beating. And if not for Britt coming in, he wouldn't have had that win. I think Martinez was really getting that momentum back, and Hayter was starting to slow down.
It's true. And it was kind of crazy that once the match was over, like it wasn't even really over.
No. Yeah, so she kept going. Yeah, she kept going at the beating, and normal stuff coming in. That whole little crew does that.
I know.
God for Thunder Rosa, right?
I know. And of course, Martinez had, Thunder Rosa. She's like, don't mess with my girls. Just like
I can't believe she came out in that skirt. She was looking super cute, don't get me wrong. But I was like, dang, no, it's like it's a 2-piece. It's like a top and a bottom skirt. And I was like, dang, is she gonna wrestle in that? I hope she's got shorts under there. She's gonna be giving everyone a show. Like, she came out ready to whoop out. I don't even think she was planning on coming out. You'd think she'd be better dressed than that. Coming out in a skirt ready to whoop some ass and having a chair in hand.
We've got some comments on this match that we missed. Comments. So, this one's funny. Someone said, do you guys sleep? I've never seen such energetic people like you guys. No, I don't sleep.
Yeah, 4 hours. I'm good. That's all I need.
I don't sleep. My blood is coffee. But next comment, we have Hayter is my favorite next to Shida. She's amazing.
I'm a big Hayter fan too. Really, not just because she's one of the prettier ones in AEW, but she's got a lot of skill and she's tough, man. That is a tough chick.
And Earl also said
Tree of Woe. Thank you, Keith. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. There it is. Thank you. It was on the tip of my tongue. I knew it. It's the Tree of Woe.
Tree of Woe.
Tough to come out of. You got to have a lot of good, strong core strength to come out of that.
Yeah. And Earl said that the AEW women's division is as good as it gets.
Yeah.
They are pretty good. This was an intense one. And
You know,
Joseph's got
I'd say across all wrestling, women's wrestling has gotten a lot better.
yeah.
NXT is really good, UK and 2.0. Even WWE with Dewdrop and Baszler, there's some really good wrestlers over there as well.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. And the girls, my favorite personally is Thunder Rosa. I say that all the time. I'm really hoping, I'm rooting for her next week. Hoping that she's able to get that win from Britt, but
Yeah.
I don't know, you never know.
I think it was Joseph or Keith? It's Rosa's Revenge. I love
Yeah,
it. It's such a
Rosa's
great name.
revenge.
Rosa's Revenge. I love it. She's gonna take it and down with Britt Baker. Done with it. Her reign must end.
Yes, yes, it must. And yeah, somehow she's always sneaky with either she's cheating or she's doing something that she's not supposed to be doing. So
And then
um
acts like she's the greatest and
yeah,
done it all herself.
it's quite
But we
annoying.
get right into the next fight card. We got to see the big, massive, limitless Keith Lee versus the Factory's QT Marshall. So this started after like last week. QT Marshall was going to say, "Hey, we got your back. I got you." And Keith Lee just turned. And he's like, "Nah, I got a big back, man. You're not going to be able to watch it." And QT was
No.
insulted, so that's why we have this. QT's kind of defending his honor and the Factory's honor and all that good stuff. So Marshall tried to get into Lee's face right away. I don't know what he was thinking, but
Yeah.
he definitely did not expect to dish out this massive headbutt to shut him up. I mean, he just leaned into him and stumbled back. And if you guys watched this match, I know you did.
Yeah.
Tell me QT Marshall wasn't extra through this
He was
entire
so
match. He was so extra.
extremely. I'm like, he is so dramatic.
He's worse than Aubrey.
Yes. He's so freaking dramatic. And yeah, Keith then has like he's got Marshall's arm all like twisted up behind him, and he even like has him up on in one hand, and then you think he's gonna do something with him, but then he just like slowly puts him down, and I'm like, okay, kind of
Yeah,
showing off, and he's
he
just
is.
kind of like, like, oh, this is like nothing for me. This is light work. Look at
Like
me.
a kitty playing with its food.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty much it's what it took a thumb to the eye to finally give Marshall any chance to kind of get some offensive momentum going. And it
Yeah.
lasted what, all of 10 seconds before
Yeah.
Lee just leveled him with that two-handed chop. And that was the extra, the double overhand chop. And he just like froze. He was
Yes.
petrified and just fell back,
It's
stiff as a
true.
board.
And I thought I heard like the commentators say that that was an illegal move or something like that.
Yeah, Taz said that, but then Excalibur came back. He's like, the double overhead chop. He goes, yeah, isn't that illegal? I don't know. The ref didn't call it, so I guess not.
Yeah,
Really didn't
I
see
didn't
it.
think it was. And yeah, I thought it was cool. I think it's like there's obviously a very big difference between Keith Lee and QT Marshall in
Yeah.
size. I mean, it's like visible. And I felt like it was almost not that it was like an unfair advantage, like it was not unfair. I just feel like Keith Lee kind of just was like throwing him around a lot. Like
Yeah.
not there wasn't much like hard hitting fighting more than like him throwing him around.
Oh yeah, there's a couple big throws.
Yeah,
They were
like just like
he was
really
getting
big
tossed around.
throws.
And he's 211, 220, 230, right
Yeah,
around there. He's not a small guy.
yeah.
So, and
Um,
he's tough too. He can hang in there.
yeah, he definitely is able to hold his own. But QT ends up getting up to the top rope, and he finally is able to get this like nice jump kick in, sending Lee crashing down. Finally, he's able to put in, someone's able to pin this guy down.
Yeah, that's a great picture of a missile drop kick. Look at that picture. Perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. So Marshall has some run. He gets in there. He gets some face punches and a kick straight to the nuts. But of course, not enough to keep that big man down. Keith comes back with just an epic, very quick lariat. It was so hard to try to get a picture of this. Just
Yeah.
pure speed and power behind it. The guy he has these bursts of energy, and it's impressive.
Yeah, it's extremely impressive. I honestly don't even know how he does it. Like they both of them have a lot of strength and they both move very fast, like around the ring. Um, and so Nick Camarado, he kind of has this like the in this picture you could see it best on the bottom like left. You see how he's got his like arm hooked on Keith
Hmm.
Lee's leg there. So that kind of helped QT Marshall get into position for that diamond cutter, which is like totally not cool. Like that is cheating, plain out
Yeah.
cheating. But Lee, quickly counters that and he picks him up like absolutely nothing, like basically one hand, and plops him down and hits him with that finisher.
Yeah. I don't know what he was thinking trying to hit him with the diamond cutter. That guy's way too
Yeah.
big for that. And he was
Yeah, I'm like,
not
what are
winded.
you doing?
Yeah. Should have more sense on that.
Yeah.
But then, you got Aaron Solo. I don't know what he was thinking. Maybe he was drunk or something, but he comes in and tries to jump on Lee's back. And he could barely get his arms around the guy's neck to try to choke him out. He couldn't even lock it in. So
Yeah.
he like shakes Solo off like a little gnat. And then Camarado steps up. And it's like, okay, now this is a little bit more equal. They kind
Yeah.
of trade back and forth, but he ended up getting power bombed by Lee. And I was like, good God, man, he just left him there. I
Yeah.
guarantee you, Solo and Nick Camarado were regretting that decision.
They
The
were.
carpet
They're like,
man could not hang.
we should not have been doing that. And so just when you think that it's over, no, somebody last person had to put their 2 cents into this match,
Yeah,
and that was
Taz. He's like, go get him, boys.
no other than Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. They both go into the ring, but Powerhouse Hobbs, he is able to lift up Keith Lee. Look at Keith Lee with his face open. He's like, what's going on? His mouth's all open, and he's like, oh my goodness. And he just plops him down, slams him down. I mean, it was really epic.
Yeah, I think that's probably it's been a while since Keith Lee's been laid out like that. So if anybody can do it, it's Powerhouse Hobbs. But it did take what 4 or 5 guys to slow him down enough to where Hobbs could even get the opportunity to do that. So
Yeah.
one-on-one, that's kind of what that alluded to. We're probably going to see Keith Lee and Hobbs. I guess Taz has some beef with Keith Lee, so he's going to send his boys after him. Yeah, Hobbs and Lee coming soon. That's what that was. That was a little prequel. So he's going to have to keep working his way up. Hobbs, he's young, he's strong. I'm sure he could do it. I mean,
Yeah.
really, if he just kind of rope-a-dopes Lee and just lets him wear out, Lee might fall over of a heart attack, honestly. I haven't seen him last longer in about 5 to 10 minutes in a match. So, Hobbs can get in there and beat him up and wear him down. He should take the win.
That would
But
be really cool to see, honestly. That'd
yeah,
be a really
he
cool
needs to
match
get
to
taken
see.
down a couple notches.
Yeah.
Getting a formidable opponent. But we have our main event. And
Oh
to
god.
be honest, I don't know how main we can call this event. I'm a
It
big
felt
Tony
very
Nese fan.
short.
Yeah, I like Tony Nese a lot. He's an amazing athlete. He's even more fun to watch in person because you really get to see his speed and athleticism. But I've never heard of Swerve. Have you? This is like a big deal. He's a rapper and he's coming back. His big
Yeah.
announcement to coming back to AEW was on Sunday Revolution. Everybody went crazy. I don't know. Am I in the dark? I don't know who this guy is. And
I feel like maybe I've heard a few songs, but I don't know. I don't want to be wrong. I don't know.
yeah,
My extent of music is like, it's all over the place, honestly. But it was a very, very, very short match, shorter than I
yeah.
expected.
Swerve.
Yeah.
This was, like I said, this is his debut, and it's a main event. And it
Yeah.
took the premier, or he took on the premier athlete Nese. That's kind of his nickname. And the two have known each other for years and fought before, which I kind of heard that last week when they were kind of teasing it, or earlier in the week. But I've never seen any of that, and they kind of touched on it in an interview backstage. So, anytime there's some previous beef, you know, oh,
Yeah.
he was Earl, he was Hit Row. Okay, I do remember him Hit Row NXT. That's
Oh.
right. That was a while ago. Okay. Hit Row.
Hit
I remember
Row.
Hit Row.
Nice.
They were in and out real quick. They came up to WWE or from NXT into the main roster, I think on SmackDown. And then that's when WWE did that huge rash of
Oh,
releases and let goes
yeah.
and fires a few months back. Totally forgot about that. Thanks, Earl. Sorry, we
That's
watch a lot of wrestling. It's hard to keep up with everything.
it is very hard to catch up. But Tony's all like, "This is Tony's house," and he's like flaunting his pecs and his abs, and he's just it's showing off. Yeah, but yeah,
Awesome.
they initially kept things like super technical at first, kind of just like focusing on like holds. There was a lot of like holds, and a few takedowns, and like as time went on, you can kind of tell their like tension between the two of them was like slowly increasing. In the very beginning, they use a lot of like strikes.
Hmm.
And I mean, I enjoyed this match, but it wasn't my favorite. Like, I feel like it
Yeah.
could have been better.
I'll say this. Nice did a good job making Swerve look good. And I'll
Yeah.
leave it at that. This was definitely Nice's match. He was anyway. So Swerve, he got a few good lock-ins. He was keeping control. He was keeping the pace, keeping control. He got some really cool spinning moves. You got to see a couple Hurricane Ranas. He did this neat little reversal kind of set up into a brainbuster. That was really cool. But somehow he got both of his legs on Tony's shoulders and hit him with that. It was like the reversal. That was really
It was
neat.
like
That was
this
some cool stuff.
spinning reversal. It was so cool.
Yeah,
It was so
that was
cool.
really neat.
And one of my favorites was when Swerve's out of the ring and Tony's in the ring and Tony manages to like pull up the apron and put it over his neck like right as he's about to get back in. I mean, it was kind of a smart tactic, but I feel like he definitely has more like not professional moves that he could have pulled out, not wrapping an
It's
apron around
yeah,
his
it's
neck.
it's it's sneaky. The first time I saw that was in NXT UK, and it was almost like a boar technique or like a bull. He like
Yeah.
lifted it up, he ran into it and like scooped him down. So it was a little bit more eloquent than what we saw Nice do, but
Yeah.
it's funny, it makes me laugh. But during the break, again, guys, we've said it. You have to pay attention during the break. So Tony, he throws Swerve into the steel stairs, and this really kind of starts to wear him down. He gets him back into the ring, starts to get control back, but then we get to see a DDT to Swerve, and this he just starts eating repeated punches over and over after this, and you see just a great combination. It's kind of that switch in momentum, that second win.
Yeah. And after that, so they come back from the break. We see the second half of the match, which is honestly probably like 5 minutes.
Hmm.
Like the second half was maybe 5 minutes. We get an uppercut that's countered by Tony, and Swerve
Yeah,
does this like deadlift into a brain buster. Never
yeah,
seen that before.
very cool.
Yeah.
And we saw Tony try to attempt that springboard moonsault, but not enough. And then that very cool 450 splash, it failed, and Nice Nice failed to get the win. Swerve
Yeah.
he hit that double stomp off the ropes, and that was it. That was done.
It
Put him
was it.
in.
He scored that win.
So it was a little bit. I kind of knew where this was gonna go, but it was okay. This episode was okay.
It was okay.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm not
Definitely not
super
my
impressed.
favorite.
But
But
I mean, gosh, we've had 2 weeks of amazing wrestling, so my
I
standards are
think
pretty
that's what
high.
it is. I think it's because there's these past few episodes have just been so epic that you get one
Yeah,
that's like at normal and you're like, what's going on?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? So, oh, it seems like we've got people that disagree with us. So they said the match wasn't bad for a main event. I didn't say it was bad. It just wasn't the best.
Yeah.
There's been better.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it was good.
it was pretty good.
Again,
But
I've been spoiled with AEW. It's not my fault. It's their fault.
yeah, stop spoiling us.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a
Alrighty,
bunch of
guys.
comments here kind of talking about Nice and Swerve and WWE. Yeah, guys, we all know WWE's drama.
Yeah.
They let go of a lot of good talent. So
Yeah. But AEW is always there to just pick them in and pick them up and, reel them in. So never need to worry
definitely
about
good
that.
stuff.
Yeah. So I think it's a good time that we give each fight card a rating. We want to hear what you guys have to give it to. So definitely rate it with us. So we'll start with 5, which is Fight Forever.
Then you got 4. This is awesome.
We've got 3, which is You Still Got It.
Yep. And then 2, what?
And 1, which is boring. Watch us. You'll have way more fun. What would you give this one?
At first I was just kind of like, oh my gosh, AEW, come on, get it together. But these were good matches. They earned a 3. When I was done, my first thought was, what are you guys doing? I was gonna give it a 2, but again, we've come off some really, really great wrestling, so I think I'm a little spoiled, and it was a good episode. They still got it. It was a good episode of AEW. I thought it was way better than WWE in my opinion.
Oh, really?
So, oh yeah, it was pretty boring actually. I was not impressed with last night's episode.
Oh no, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Well, I have to agree and give it a 3. I definitely think they've still got it. Because there was so much that could have happened. There was like a lot of, I feel like, dilly-dallying. That's the best way I could explain it. And not like actual hardcore, fun hitting moves or like exciting, people coming in, or we did see the Hardy Boys, but
cool appearance there. Darby's getting better and better. I mean, he really is. He's coming far. I like watching him. The Keith Lee match. So a solid 3 from Joseph. Yeah, Joseph, you're right. That Sheeta promo was fire. That was fire. So, so it was good. QT Marshall, I'm just not sure where he's fitting right now. And it was, like I said, he was so extra. It made me laugh. Just like, all right. And then Nice, like I said, man, he made Swerve look good. So
yeah,
pretty good episode. I think you guys, it was AEW. It was good. I can't complain. It was wrestling. We got to see wrestling. So I'm happy. Good old wrestling. Yeah.
Wow.
Earl.
Everyone's got nice, really high ratings. Keith gave it a 6. Earl gave it a 5.4.
Good. Yeah, good. It was good. Like I said, I think I need to get my expectations a little bit more realistic. So I'm not gonna punish AEW for my high standards.
Oh my goodness. Well, you guys, if you like what you see here, please take a moment to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, and make sure if you like what you see here, just click those WrestleCap links below. We have a ton of stuff. We cover everything, lots of good stuff. Lexi and Lady J, they do all the fight news every day, so definitely check them out. So it was definitely a great episode. Love talking to you guys. Make sure you check out our sweet merch. We got some cool stuff. But until next time, it's Billy here.
And I'm Lexi.
Don't stop believing.
Bye.